It's July 15th, 2012, and you're watching Mods on Air.
2 FPS, 3 RPGs, and 5 sim-type games. Yeah. I think you'd be able to come up with one here.
I'm actually pulling this one hard.
Ask all the people that need hacks to play Call of Duty. I can hear you groaning inwardly every time Sin's mentioned. You're just cringing.
Hey everybody, welcome to episode 340 of Mods on Air, bringing you the week in gaming news as modders, developers, and gamers ourselves. I am foyleman, and also on the show today we have with us Stryder. How you doing today, Stryder?
Hey everybody.
Hey, we also have GameKat with us. Hello, GameKat.
Hello.
Welshy made it with us. Hello, Welshy.
Hello.
And we have Ham. Hello, Ham.
Hello.
Awesome. So before we begin, let me remind you all that this show was recorded before a live audience, of which you may be a part. You can listen in and message about the topics as we discuss them. People are doing so right now, and in case you care to follow along, Welshy's going to post the relevant URL into the chat window. And for the other links that are posted, if you click on them, you may never return again, so you should be careful. Or you might get a virus, but another virus, depending on who you are. Yeah, so we have... We have a bunch of stuff to talk about this.
Virus, depending on who you are.
I was going on about computer viruses, yes. We have a lot of...
Or a regular virus, depending on who you are.
Yeah,
or depending on where your computer is.
And what you've been doing to it.
And what you've been doing to it, and who's been using it also. We've,
Don't share mouses.
This is just not going to be a good show.
No, a lot of stuff has been going on. A lot of stuff in New York with Comic-Con. I think it's been being held in New York, but a lot of stuff going on with Comic-Con this week, and very little, if any, talked about in today's show because they're about comics. We didn't. there wasn't a lot going on gaming-wise. Yeah. But we do have a lot of other topics. To talk about, and some weird things going on. All right, jump into it. Might as well just head right into the bag. Going on with Xbox, some console stuff. Xbox is giving away some gold this weekend. You can apparently sign in and take a look at some of the free streaming live baseball and get other stuff that you would get out of the gold membership. And it says that you have to, it starts if you log in before July 16th at 9 a.m. So you have to log in now. Hurry up. If you're listening to the live show, otherwise you're too late.
Go.
Yep.
No, because if people are playing consoles, they're not listening to us.
No.
Unless they're into self-abuse.
Actually, Ham's somebody who's been putting together some little games here and there for games, the downloadable kind of games for the Xbox Live Arcade. Why would somebody want to go out and get a gold right now?
I've got no idea, and
okay.
I wouldn't recommend it. I don't have gold, and I'll tell you something slightly related to this. I'm pretty proud that yesterday I followed some tutorials and I found a way to block all the advertisements that appear on the Xbox dashboard.
Nice.
So I'm even better than normal. They're not getting my money over my eyeballs.
I don't know what really is. Then what are you going to get out of the Xbox Gold? The ability to play some multiplayer, check out some of the streaming video, and that's it.
Well, not even streaming video, really. You pay. Netflix. I guess you've got to pay for Netflix separately.
Yeah.
So you pay for the ability to access Netflix on your Xbox, and you pay for the ability to have peer-to-peer multiplayer games. I just don't get it.
No. I'm
amazed that Microsoft successfully created a service where people pay for things that they would normally get for free. And
yeah,
that's their claim to fame.
Doing. Right. Everything that we do on the PC is pretty much what they're paying for, and we're getting it for just the cost of what we're already paying for, the internet.
And our Netflix subscription.
And our Netflix subscription, that's right. Right, Sony on the PS3, I don't think you have to pay for that kind of service. So
no, but they just take the credit card info and give it to everybody else.
That's also the downfall of PS3.
That's the trade-off.
But you know what? If you do have a PS3 and it still works, you might be interested in the full motion gyro chair. Apparently, somebody's coming out with this thing for the PS3. I don't know why only the PS3, but that's what it is. And it moves when you move your controller.
Because that way, when that thing's moving, it's creating airflow that pushes the dust off of your PS3.
That's like a rape chair.
I'm concerned. Very concerned.
It looks small, damn. And the video is just awful. So I guess
they got this tall, skinny guy sitting on it. Can you imagine if like a big fat guy sat on that piece of plastic?
Which is what's going to happen.
The little gyro would be like, oh god, that ain't gonna happen.
Maximum weight is 125 kilograms. I don't know what that comes out to in stones and pounds.
250 pounds or so.
Yeah.
So it holds pretty good.
Gyroxis? Is that what it's called?
Yeah.
Gyroxis, yeah.
Sounds like
I'm just looking.
Stripper. Welcome to the stage, Gyro.
It seems like the kind of chair a stripper would use too, so I don't know. Perhaps it is. There's no word as far as how much this thing is going to cost when it's going to be available.
Or who's going
to
buy
it.
Ever.
Imagine this. You invite a friend over. You have one of these.
Well, I would imagine that if you had one of these, you wouldn't have friends.
Yeah.
I mean, honestly, the only time I've ever seen anyone using a chair like that is in the 40-Year-Old Virgin.
That's right. Yeah.
He had a gaming chair. That's the only time I've ever seen anybody with one of those.
It's almost classic arcade. You know, you had the Afterburner games and things like that had the chair you could sit in that shook a little bit when you did things. But I don't know. I think if I walked into one of my friend's house and he had a pair of those sitting in the basement in front of his TV, and he's like, "Hey, let's play a game," and I'd be like, "No, let's not play any game."
It looks just uncomfortable as well.
It does. It looks
it does.
Because like all the pictures, everyone's sitting like really sort of straight.
Like if I move, I'm gonna break a bone.
Yeah.
Or bruise something. Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe if it was comfortable and you paired it with like a 3D TV and a 3D game, then you might be onto something. But who's gonna spend the money? I mean, that's got to be like $1,000, I'm sure.
Do you reckon there's little like drills down the side of it so you can drizzle butter in when the fat people get stuck in it?
Yeah. That's what I'm thinking. Which parent in their right mind is going to buy that for their kid? Because usually you don't want your kid sitting on the couch. You want him the fuck gone.
Yeah.
You know, don't sit on the couch playing games all day. I'm not going to buy you a $1,000 or $2,000 chair to sit on to do exactly that. When I want you out the house, you're old enough. Go support yourself. So I just don't see that. I don't know. Gimmick peripherals. Oh. I suppose there's a sucker born every minute.
Like the Wii U, gimmick peripheral. They're talking now. Again, a follow-up of a follow-up. Mark Rain from Epic Games is talking about how they can bring the Unreal Engine 4 to the Wii U.
Yeah, but I like how they say it's scalable. So in other words, the dumber your system is, the dumber we have to make this game. Yeah. So basically, you're going to be playing an 8-bit game kind of thing. Like, what the hell? You scale it down. You reduce the textures. You reduce everything. That's not the same engine. You're not just saying it's the Unreal Engine or the Unreal 4 engine because you're taking everything off of it. Mm-hmm. Doesn't mean that it's. Yeah, it'll make the Wii more realistic. Exactly.
That's a really good point. It's a really good point.
Well, the key word that he's using there is that it has to be ported to there, which means that it's not just a direct build of the game, it is a reworked version of the game. And I doubt that's just because it has different controls.
It's like all those versions of Call of Duty that appear on the Wii. Those aren't the same game. They have the same name, but they aren't.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Well, what about this console here? There's another one that just recently became announced and then took off like wildfire on Kickstarter called Ouya? Does that sound right?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Yep. They started over a Kickstarter talking about this console, and within a matter of days, I think it was, they hit over $4 million in funding. And I couldn't understand why people were just throwing money at this thing, because when I'm reading about what this new console is, it sounded to me like it was nothing more than a way for you to take, like, the equivalent of Google apps that are games and throw it on, download them, put it onto this little console box, and play it on your TV. I didn't see any difference about it.
It reminded me of those crappy ass 300 games in one that used to plug on the TV.
Yeah.
And there was only one game you actually were willing to play. Yeah.
And even that one wasn't that good.
It also
had like 16 different versions of backgammon in there.
Yeah.
It also somewhat reminded me of that console that they gave us on Live.
On Live console, which is that little computer thing.
Which, to my understanding, is still fizzling and not doing much. So,
I'm going to come out in support of the Ouya.
You are?
I think it's a great idea. Here's why. That's not a great way to start. It brings Android developers the ability to make console games. Android games at the moment are just touchscreen games for the most part, and a lot of them, there are quite a few that look really good, and they've got these on-screen controls that are really hard to work with. And so giving people a fixed hardware, so the hardware doesn't change from phone to phone, so you can only have to target one platform, and giving you physical controls, you can get console quality games out of it. A lot of people are saying, well, it supports Android, so all you're gonna see are phone games that are badly ported. But if people don't have the mindset to just port phone games, but instead just create games specifically for the console, it's got the ability to have some pretty decent games.
Yeah, but isn't that Google TV? That's what Google TV is, except you now have a controller.
Google TV, I think, is targeted more towards watching TV, though.
Yeah, but I thought it also allowed you to, Google Play
web
stuff
games,
on your TV.
I think you can play like Angry Birds and stuff.
The thing that bugs me about it is the specifications.
Yeah,
it's 1 gig of RAM, 8 gig storage, flash storage. So it's just gonna be like very small. I mean, you might get some really great, cool games out of it, but it's not gonna be
next gen.
No,
it's not gonna be a PC. It's not
even gonna be an Xbox. Is the thing.
No.
Which is
you're right.
Be a regular Xbox, not the Xbox 360.
Yeah.
But it's got
so if we use something like some sort of way to go from your phone to the TV and then sold controllers, that's what this is. Except it's less powerful than your phone.
That's what I'm not quite getting. It seems that they're thinking that perhaps the mobile gaming market, those games need to be played on a TV. Like, I don't need to play Angry Birds on a TV. I don't need to go down. I don't come home from work and think, you know what, I'm going to go sit downstairs and play some Angry Birds, or I'm gonna go play some Sudoku on my
I hate Sudoku
TV.
so much.
Why am I going to do that?
Yeah,
on my
4
3D
grams
HD
worth
TV,
of
my
TV,
60-inch TV, because that's what I want to do when I get fuck. I don't see the use for.
It's $100. It's only $100.
Yeah,
but
it's $100. That's the thing.
It's $100.
You know what? $100 is like 5 cases of beer.
Everything has to be translated into beer currency for Stryder.
How many
I'd get more enjoyment out of 5 cases of beer than I would out of sitting in front of my TV playing backgammon or Angry Birds.
Well, that's the thing. Like, hopefully, it doesn't. Well, I already know it's going to happen, but it will get flooded with Android ports. But hopefully, somebody's going to say, "Oh, let me make a console experience. Let me make a game intended to be played with a controller, not just some sort of weird touchscreen port." The controller has a touchpad on it, which is that just spells kind of doom for ports because it's just going to have tons and tons of ports of phone games. I'm hoping though that people see the more potential in it because there is some potential. It's just how active people are going to be in exploiting it.
Okay, so right now,
Dr. Nano coming to the Ouya.
Right now, Han, you have the choice to make a game for the Ouya or for every single Android phone and tablet out there. What are you going to do?
Every single phone.
Okay, just yeah. All right, well, we'll see what happens with this. We don't even know what the marketplace will be like. Maybe it'll turn into a good marketplace because we already know that Google's marketplace for the phones is really pretty poor. It's hard to find. It's hard to go out there and just grab what you want to grab. iOS happens to have that one thing over it, even though there's quite a few good apps that are out there for the Android phones. And then they come up with a survey of 20 games posted into a survey. People, if you see this list of games, these are not a list of games that are being made or ported or anything. These are just a list of games that people said they wanted to have made or ported, like Skyrim, Battlefield.
Oh, yeah.
That's not going to end up on the
Ouya. Work on that.
Right.
Unless
it's 1 gig of RAM. That's happening.
Right.
An 8 gig storage. Yeah. Huh.
The original Xbox had 8 gigs of storage. And I think the current Xbox and PlayStation 3 do not have a gig of storage or a gig of RAM. They've got 512 and 256 megabytes.
But if this does work out, then those people that are currently making games or have games that they already made for the Android marketplace, they could very easily port this over for a controller in most cases, as long as it's not a touch screen gyro-enabled game.
Yeah.
And that could change the market, which is something that I thought was going to happen with Google TV, and just absolutely didn't happen. Well, it might. It actually might start happening because we're getting some more stuff going on, such as there are some second-gen Google television sets that are coming out, and right now they're starting to hook up with OnLive. So if people are out there wanting to play OnLive, and why not get it built right into the TV whenever you're out there picking out the kind of TV that you want to buy.
I saw an article about a new Samsung TV that they manufactured the TV specifically for what might be coming in the future. So it's got like a gig of RAM on there, and you can download and install new software. So because they're like, we don't know what you're going to want to do or be able to do on your TV in the next 2 years. So get this TV and you can do whatever you want. I thought that was a good idea.
It's hard to build things for things that haven't been made.
But they did it.
Yeah. Well, Samsung has smart TVs right now, and they're all app-based, so you can go ahead and make apps for the Samsung TV. I just don't know what the approval process is to get your app onto such a TV.
At E3, Samsung said they're going to start a competitor service to OnLive built into the TVs, and it works on Gaikai's hardware or their services. It's just like rebranded for some Samsung products. It's kind of weird. So maybe
it seemed to me, from what I read, that there was no limit, that it was up to the user to put on their TV what they wanted. So it was a $3,000 television. It's a 3D LED or whatever. So if you're spending $3,000 on a TV, and then next year there's some kind of new streaming service, and it wasn't already installed on your $3,000 TV, now you have the option. You could put it on there yourself. So it gives you a little more longevity, which is nice.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah. I'd invest in it.
Sounds like you did.
Yeah.
I'm sold.
All right. Also, somebody else who's trying to get into this bandwagon of being able to just get online and start playing games is Amazon. Amazon's looking to go into this free-to-play kind of MMO thing with a system called GameKat. Game Center's Kindle Fire is going to be hitting up with some free-to-play MMOs. And, I'm surprised that Amazon hasn't pushed this a little bit more. You can go ahead and make certain Android builds for the Kindle. And now they have the Kindle Fire, which is in color, which is basically a tablet. So you can start making applications that work with this device. You don't have to restrict yourself to phones, restrict yourselves to tablets. This is also a tablet, something else to consider. It's not just a thing to read.
An e-reader?
Yeah, it's not just an e-reader, right.
I think the whole term e-reader is going to be a thing of the past in like a year.
Well, is the new one though? Is that still that like weird magnetic ink, or is it actually a digital screen?
No, I think it's a digital screen. Otherwise, how else? Unless they have color e-ink.
Yeah, that's what I was wondering. Because I didn't actually look.
The Fire. The Fire uses a traditional.
Okay.
Oh, cool.
LCD screen.
I mean, that's the only advantage of some of these ebooks is that they use this e-ink paper that is supposed to have a higher amount of contrast, making it easier to read, as well as an immense battery life, because they can throw something to this electronic paper, and it doesn't have to really use any battery to leave it there. It just throws this page up, and then almost no battery to hold it there. And then when you go to change the page, it uses a little bit of battery, and you change the page, and so you can not have to charge it for like a week.
It's more than that, isn't it? It's like a month.
I don't know how long it is for sure. I thought it was.
Yeah, I think so. I think the batch was like 3 months or something stupid.
It's supposed to be a month, but every time I go to use mine after having used it for like a month, it says charge. I need to charge it.
And does it hold the page up there all the time, or do you have to turn it off and on?
It holds it up.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you turn off the little screensaver thing, which is kind of weird because you don't need a screensaver, but if you turn that off, yeah, it'll stay there.
Okay. Also, let's see. Yeah, Amazon's going with free-to-play MMOs, and one-click, just grab it and go. And some sort of virtual transaction service so that you can start getting these games. All right, enough of this. Let's move on to some other stuff. Summer deals. Let's talk about some summer deals. Summer... I can actually, let's see, I don't know what order this is supposed to be in because I think I mixed up the order. So I'm going to first talk about some summer sales aplenty. There's summer sales all over the place. You don't just have to head over to Steam, which we'll talk about in a little bit. But all these services are having summer sales. Thank you, Steam and Valve, for making
initiating
exactly
the whole notion of a sale.
Yeah, I think they're the reason that we have this. Sure. We have GameFly, which is a service I won't be using because I understand that, it's very easy to lose discs and not get games and stuff like that. But they have 75% off sales going on all over the place. Who else? Amazon is running 75% off sales. Alice Madness Returns for $5.
Wow.
And Bulletstorm, $5. Call of Duty Black Ops, $20. That's a little too much.
Still, yeah.
Okay. And who else is another one? Gamer's Gate is another one that you might want to consider taking a look at. But I don't see any games that I recognize, such as Sword of Stars for $2.50. Get Games is another one. Borderlands for $10. Operation Flashpoint for $5. Okay. GOG. And they have a lot of older games. Green Man Gaming. They have
Green Man.
Yeah, Green Man. I know, that's what I always think of when I hear that. Duke Nukem Forever for $5. Fear 3 for $7.69. Okay. And what else? Impulse. Impulse is another one. And they're only mentioning one game in this list, Hearts of Iron 3 for $7.49. And then, last but not least, Steam summer sales, which have been going on this week. I don't know how long it goes on for. And actually, since it's past 12 o'clock, I don't know what today's sales are.
Everything.
Yeah, pretty much.
Phone time. Let's see. The Muppets theme. It's
no, it's Cantina songs.
Yeah,
Cantina.
That was
Okay. Steam
Today's
sales.
deal: Skyrim 50%
Thank
off.
You. I was going over there.
Orcs Must Die 75% off.
Borderlands 75%
Borderlands.
off. Orcs Must Die, good game, $3.74. definitely worth that money.
It's a very well done game.
I picked up LA Noire for like $7.
Dead Island.
Yeah, I think that LA Noire is like $5 or something.
What about Dead Island for 10? You think that's worth it now?
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you haven't played it already, it was fun.
Mm-hmm.
It was a little different than the usual, I thought. It's worth $10.
Yeah, definitely.
There's a lot of good deals on there, but I already own most of it.
Yeah, me too.
That's the problem. I'm not going to buy a package.
Yeah.
With the amount that
2,
Steam got from me last year, there hasn't been enough quality games released for me to even be excited about Steam sales. This last year was almost a dismally horrendous year for gaming. I mean, it goes to show we're playing games that are 2 and 3 years old.
We're back playing World at War, yeah.
World at War and Killing Floor, just because nothing else really came out that was gripping and riveting and held us.
Well, a couple. There were a couple really good ones, but they're not. But those are the ones we purchased. There isn't Star Wars. You can call Star Wars as a game that came out recently enough.
Sure, you got Star Wars, you got Skyrim.
Mm-hmm.
They were good, and people invested a lot of time in them. But what else was there?
True.
What else has come out this year that I didn't purchase in a Steam sale last year?
Mm-hmm.
Modern Warfare 8. I'm not going to buy it. Black Ops 21 and a half? Like, come on.
Yeah.
I haven't bought a game yet from the Steam sale. I'm just going to wait until the last day.
Well, every day there's different sales. You wait till the last day and you're stuck with whatever they have.
Well, if it's not in my wish list, then I'm not going to buy it.
All right. Steam is also doing some other stuff. They started talking about something called Big Picture Mode. And this is coming up because some people, they're talking about how some people are asking Valve that, for all I know, nobody's asking Valve, and they're asking themselves this, but I have all this great content, and I have this great big beautiful screen in my living room. Can't we put the two together?
Yes, you just pick it up and plug it into your PC like any normal human being.
Plug it into your HDMI out and
my DVI out works too.
Yeah.
If you don't have that, you can usually plug your PC right into it. So yes, you can already do that, but you know what? They're trying to come up with something else, and perhaps this is the prequel to that little console that we heard rumors about. What was it, early this year or last year? Remember, we kept hearing about the possibility of Valve putting together the Steam box, right? And we're also assuming that they're building this thing using Linux, maybe, because they were looking for some Linux people, or they were just looking for some Linux ports of what they have for all, could be. But maybe this is tied together. That Valve is trying to put together some sort of little console box kind of thing that you could throw down in front of your TV and start playing some games on it.
Possibly. I know one of the other deals for the big picture mode is that you will be able to control it with a controller. So I think they were encouraging a lot of developers
you mean like
to
a game
add
controller?
controllers. Yep.
Okay.
So they're encouraging people to add support, game controller support to all their games. Because you'll be able to navigate everything with the controller.
Well, that's wonderful to add the support. Can you please tell us what that support entails? Because I can bind any key I want in the world to those, and I don't know exactly what Steam has in mind to use.
Well, yeah, I guess it's a really great point. I don't know. I suppose you'll just be able to navigate through pages and launch games with the controller, but I don't know how you're going to be able to get back to like the main menu or anything like that. I have no clue.
And the engine has to be able to support whatever they're planning. All right, well, we'll see what happens. We'll see.
Yeah.
So it looks like there's going to be an even bigger push away from the PC and onto the TV.
I'm struggling to understand the fact that Yeah, loads of people are asking us. We want to use my big TV. Just plug it in. Like I don't see why
console players.
Console players who
I don't think lots of people are asking them. Welshy.
No.
No.
I doubt it too.
No, because every one of these players is a PC player.
Exactly. So it's like, well, just play. Like if you look at the comments on that link, it's just like, well, I just plug it in. I've been doing it for years. Still don't really see the point in it because I plugged my new one in yesterday.
We mentioned the idea of this little console that sits in front, but one thing that we didn't bring up is the possibility that they are creating some sort of method of streaming to the TV from your PC.
That'd be awesome.
So you can sit there and play with exactly what you have in front of you, the keyboard, the PC, whatever. You just look up to the big PC, if you're playing on your laptop or something like that. You look up to the big TV, and there it is. So there could be something along those lines as well. All right. Steam is also announcing some other stuff. They're announcing, I don't know if I'm not at all excited about this, Valve Steam badges. So yay,
I
bought
saw
something
that this week. I was like, what the hell is this?
It's just they've done it for like the sale, so you get like achievements for buying things and voting on stuff.
Yes. Console
it is
mentality.
literally just another, and yeah, it's another way to get people to buy stuff.
It is, yeah.
It's like you get one for like linking your Facebook page and posting a video and.
Do you see the picture that I have here? The Steam Holiday Sale 2011 completed 49 achievements. Some of those achievements are bought this package, bought that game. Did you buy all of the Steam sale games? Yay! Did you make your family lose their house? Achievement! Yeah. Okay. And you know what? Here's a follow-up of one. You remember that Valve handbook that was sort of floating around the internet, where somebody made some funny comments about how Valve has employees and they allow employees to sit at any desk and move their desks around because all the desks have wheels and all that kind of stuff? Well, the person who made up that book, Clint Hocking, has now been asked to join Valve. He was working over at Ubisoft originally on stuff like Far Cry 2 and that, and it turns out that he's now been asked to work over on Valve.
Nice.
So tie those things together there.
I gotta say, the way you were building up that story, I was not hoping, but I was expecting you to say like he got fired or something. He already got fired.
You're hoping that, yeah. Okay. Well, Valve's is doing pretty good, and I guess they're a good company to work for. I don't know, but they seem like fun.
Yeah.
I don't hear as many complaints coming out of them like we used to hear out of EA and all those other places that had all kinds of suits, employee court
I think that's because if you got complaints at Valve, Gabe eats you.
Okay, got some video for you here of Sleeping Dogs. That's a game that's coming out. Now, this is interesting. I remember seeing this a piece of this game before, and I thought it looked pretty interesting. It sort of felt like an Asian-style GTA, I guess. I don't know. Let's see. I have some video here, but I'm obviously not going to play the entire thing because there's 40 minutes of it. Right.
Wow.
And there's going to be a lot of cutscenes. Here I am at 8 minutes in with cutscenes. Okay, here's some gameplay.
To the desk, shall we? See what happens.
Oh, so it kind of reminds me of GTA a little bit.
Yeah, a little thing.
Don't mind the commentary.
Over the bar.
You're all about the
take out
running.
Dog Eyes thugs.
You're literally all about.
Alright, I'm going to jump ahead to see if there's anything else going on. Alright, guess the fight's over. More cutscenes. There you go.
Killed him with the power of my fist. What's this? Open a
that's
box.
A box.
Discovered a lot.
Right.
5,000.
You got a lot of money from that.
Could buy a lot of skewers now.
You can.
Go away in a witness.
There they are, just beating up pedestrians.
And you.
Good old GTA stuff. For that alone, maybe it's worth buying a game.
Let's go.
You're a terrible
This
person.
tromping on innocent bystanders makes it worth buying a game.
How are you finding the controls?
Well, what was the most fun parts of GTA?
It's a lot more
running over pedestrians, running from the cops.
Feels a lot more flexible than
that kind of stuff.
Paying a hooker and then beating her up to get your money back.
Yeah.
It looks a lot
It's called the
more
refund and return policy.
from what I'm watching than GTA.
When you said Asian style GTA, I thought it's like you steal cars and drive them really badly.
See the flashing thing over there, look.
There it is. Go and collect it. I think I've got
That's
that
somewhat
shirt.
racist.
Yep. Not somewhat, it just is.
Sorry, you're too
But it was funny.
You need to level up your face. But Intimidator, they seem pretty much the same.
Okay. And I don't see anything else going on in here.
Sleeping Dogs?
But I didn't watch the entire 40 minutes.
God awful, seriously.
Yeah?
Yeah. I skipped ahead a little bit, and I'm watching him just like vault counters and kick a guy in the head and then vault another counter.
Yeah, well, I do hope that there's more to this than just going around collecting money for a gang and then watching cutscenes and changing your clothes. That would be tedious after a little while. After 10 minutes.
After 10 minutes, yes.
And then, 20 minutes of beating up pedestrians, and then I'm done.
It's like Sims Thug Life.
Alright, there's another game that some of us are anticipating, Borderlands 2. And they have a new trailer out there, which I find the Away song a bit annoying. But you know what? Aside from that, what we're getting out of this, which I'm skipping ahead because some of this is just pre-rendered stuff, is we get to see some of the stuff that's going to be inside of the game from the gamer's perspective. Got the ability to teleport your player and drive vehicles just like you did before. Mech warriors, which is different. A lot more color. Still the 4-player team. And okay, so you get the idea of what's coming up with this, and it's going to be the Borderlands that we know, except a little more of it. I don't know, I'm interested in it. I really enjoyed playing co-op on the first one. September 18th.
You won't play it.
Why not?
That's 2 weeks after, Shut
Make
up,
the music
Away.
stop.
That's 2 weeks after Guild Wars 2 comes out, so you won't be playing Borderlands. Who are you kidding?
Alright, it's possible, but it also depends on what my friends are playing. If my friends are playing this and not playing Guild Wars 2, then
I am
we'll all be
heartened
playing
by...
Star Wars free-to-play.
Yeah. I'm heartened
Oh,
by
actually,
the fact
I
that they
just
just
remembered.
crap out Borderlands 2 like a year after Borderlands. I like that they took their time to make it before they released it. Sorry, Welshy, what were you going to say?
Oh, just that I checked out Star Trek online the other day. Because I was like, you know what, File said this was horrible, and he's a Star Trek fan, so I'm going to see how bad it really is. And yeah.
It is.
Yeah.
You're just saying that because you're a Star Wars fan.
Oh, no, it's even if you take away the whole Star Trek versus Star Wars, it's just a terrible game.
I like Star Trek.
There's a
I said it
load
was
screen
bad.
every 2 minutes. I'm like not even exaggerating.
Mm-hmm.
You would like walk down a hallway, shoot one guy, and then open the door and it'll go load screen. And then you'd come out the door, walk across the street or something, and then load screen.
Yep. And those are the
And
fun
you'd
parts.
war yourself. Those are the fun parts, yeah.
Yeah, it was very tedious, not fun to play. A lot of reading. Oh yeah. Okay.
Get those words out my game.
Yeah. After playing Star Wars with all the voiceovers, it obviously can be done.
So that's not what bothered me. It was the fact that just there was a load screen, and the kind of the sound, in general, was just not good.
Alright, so we got Assassin's Creed 3, trying to push some more news going through here. We have, they've announced co-op multiplayer for Assassin's Creed 3.
That's cool.
Yep. Do you know if any of the others had any kind of multiplayer? I think they had multiplayer, right?
They had multiplayer. I think Brotherhood and Revelations have multiplayer.
Yep.
I never played the multiplayer version because I just didn't care to.
I heard that it wasn't very good, and I think I heard that from Welshy. Is that right?
Yeah. It was alright. It just wasn't something that I wanted to play a lot.
I think of Assassin's Creed as more of a story-driven game, so multiplayer doesn't really appeal to me. Co-op does. Definitely more fun with co-op.
Play multiplayer.
Well, as long as co-op is like this game in co-op mode, and not just like multiplayer where the two of you have to go in and kill a bunch of people, and then that's it. You got to do it again.
Like I don't want co-op only missions. I want a co-op campaign. Yeah. Although then again, the whole sort of deal with Assassin's Creed is the lone assassin. I didn't like it when they introduced in Brotherhood the notion of having the assassins guilds and being able to call for help and stuff. Like I found that to be a huge pain in the ass. So I didn't get into this business to manage personnel.
That's not a joke. Yeah, that's what you have to do. Jeez, now got to do paperwork?
Yeah, pretty much, yeah. Every once in a while you gotta stop playing to go manage the paperwork of your guild, and it's like, give me a break.
And then it'd be like getting attacked, so you'd have to go and kind of like, and you didn't get to fight, you just get to micromanage them while the others...
And you really didn't need them to play through the story, so it was really just an irritant to me.
Because you're a one-man wolf pack.
I am.
That's kind of the whole point of the story there.
It's like Grosse Point Blank. That's the lifestyle, dude. That's what I signed up for. Lone assassin, lone gunman.
Leave me alone.
I want to join your goddamn union.
Well, you also along with the release of the game, we're getting a release of the comic. Not the I don't think it's going to be the comic book. It's going to be the comic for the iPad.
What?
A live-action comic?
The fall digital comic for iPad, and it's out now. 69p. I don't know if that's a lot for a comic, but here's some ideas of what it could look like.
Screenshots.
Yeah. Well, comic doesn't do a lot, right? Oh, you're thinking that it's a live act? No, it's not. It's not a. It's not an animated series.
Don't try and catch up now.
No, okay. Hitman series is Hitman series is supposed to be Absolution. Hitman Absolution: Streets of Hope. There's some gameplay video out there. November 20th. This game is supposed to be released for the PC and the two major consoles out there.
Hi guys, welcome to.
But I know some of you enjoyed the Hitman, especially when it became on sale. You got to try it out, right? That was through Steam.
You can say it's
earlier this year.
Part of the, this is a large
I watched this entire video,
as you can kind of walk around freely,
and it looked really great up until one point towards the end where he does that kind of like flex the people to shoot and then press a button and it just kind of automatically
which he's doing here.
This bit, like, and not because that he was able to do that, but there is no, like, watch how he moves. It's just like
they're trying to pull their guns to fight back.
It's like ridiculously rigid.
Too quickly for that. The whole thing goes down without anyone making a sound, as we also use silenced guns for this.
Yeah, we've also used all of our instinct though. It's very expensive to use point shooting, especially on so many characters all at one time. So there's a lot of strategy involved in when you should use your point shooting. You can't just walk up to any character and shoot them and do it instantly. You have to make sure you do it at the right time, otherwise you run out of instinct completely. But there's the other target's come out here. He's come to investigate, probably come back to the barbecue, and he's stunned by the dead bodies.
Ow. Poor old guy.
47 just killed the barber.
Yeah, that's sad, but it's for the greater good.
All right.
We need a new disguise here.
Is that what all the other games were like, or is this one a step up?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
And it was cool because there would be like multiple ways you could do each mission.
Just choose your own adventure kind of animated game.
Yeah, it was like you could like do what he's doing, which is steal some clothes and wonder, or you could just kind of run in and shoot everybody, or I remember one you could like poison the soup if you wanted to. Yeah.
I played one of the original Hitmen and I didn't like it, so I was like, I'm not very much into all the others in this series. But the current version, how would you compare this to something like Splinter Cell? It seems like very similar in that you're out there to do your mission by yourself.
Similar, but I think probably this originally was better. The current version, not having played this one, I couldn't say.
Okay. Originally better? I couldn't say that. I loved Splinter Cell, the original ones.
The first three?
Yeah.
They're both slow games. It's like don't buy this thinking it's going to be like fast. I'm going to run around blowing it. Yeah, it's like the whole idea is you're supposed to infiltrate and
it requires patience.
Yeah,
and
exactly.
Planning.
So, yeah, you actually have to think.
Be
Apparently, isn't that
forewarned.
popular these days?
All right. Here's the game that we know GameKat is really looking forward to, right?
Game is this?
Lara Croft's Tomb Raider.
Oh.
The new one. Actually, if you like animals, then don't watch this next video because it's all about her first kill, and in her first kill, she has to go and hunt for food, and it's kind of rough, actually. There's this. How long is this video? I can't. I'll know in a couple seconds. It's only about 3 minutes. And the point of this is to show you the kind of emotional state that she has to go through, and she's really, really hungry. Well, she has to go out and get food. And here she is. She finds
got elected to play on the Hunger Games.
Yeah.
I was just thinking that. Laura Croft on the Hunger Games.
Yeah. Well, here she finds some skeleton hanging from the trees, and he has a bow and some arrows, so that's where she gets her weapon. Then she has to learn to shoot with it. She's going through the woods. She has to find herself a deer, and she's, oh, so sorry, I have to kill it, and then she has to go in. And gruesomely, she runs up to the deer, and it's not yet really dead.
Sorry.
Okay, well now it's time to prep it for a meal.
That's
gonna
to
make
make
a
the moose hat.
Super sharp arrows too, because that's what she uses to to cut the whole thing open.
Make a nice coat and hat set.
It doesn't make sense that she would be this upset and apprehensive about it, and she clearly knows how to dress a deer. She's done this before. Why is she so bothered by it?
Yeah.
And then she wastes no time like killing people throughout the rest of the
I
game.
know. Like that's the dumb
Well,
thing about it.
That's kind of like
kind
me, though. I'd kill a person way before I kill an animal. So.
But you're right. It's like she's doing all these sounds and feeling so sorry just because they're
But
trying
she knows
to make
what
her
she's
seem
doing.
like a girl. Like, oh, I can't help myself. I need help. And yeah, but she knows exactly what she's doing. So why would she be like that? So yes, it's not the game that you hoped it would be. Quite the opposite. Yeah. Okay, there's another one coming out.
Because Lara Croft game is going through its midlife crisis, getting all emotional.
That's not what I thought you were going to say, but okay.
Yeah.
She's menopausal.
That's precisely it.
We have another announcement of Lego. Lego Lord of the Rings is supposed to be being built here. And
How precious.
You know what bugs me about this though? Is they've voice acted it all.
Really?
Oh.
Wait
they've just taken it's like they've taken the voices from the movies. It's the same, but it's all voice acted.
That's the
So
first.
it's not. Well,
but
see, I wonder if that's going to ruin it because
it will. Yeah.
now it's not the kind of like cute little references and the little jokes, and now it's just you're just watching the movie in Lego.
In Lego form.
Yeah, it was funnier when they hinted towards things and with their little noises that they made.
I wonder if does the video show the actual. No, there's no video. Okay.
There is no video yet. Yeah. And I also am not quite sure who's putting this together, because if it's Warner, you got to wonder what's going to happen. Warner Brothers. I don't know.
They don't know how to put Lego together.
Well, so far they're the ones that put together the failed series of Lego's games.
That's what I mean.
Yeah.
You didn't catch the reference. It was too subtle. I'll try and do better.
I need help. I need to be spoon-fed. Yeah, okay, I'm not finding any information. All right. And, all right, so if you head over to EA and ask them what they might be working on, they're going to mention Mirror's Edge 2.
That's cool. I like Mirror's Edge.
Never finished it, but I did like the look of it.
I enjoyed it. Just because it was different.
Yeah, it was different, and it I liked the story, and the action was good. There's only a couple parts, I think, where it was like you just sort of press one button and she goes on this whole Rails cutscene kind of thing, and it was like I would have liked to have played that instead of watched it, but I liked it.
It's funny, this quote here coming out of them. It's something like, part of our strategy moving forward as a studio is that we don't just want to build Battlefield. And that's a good point. You know, when it comes to PC games and EA, what else do you think of? I guess some people think of The Sims, right?
I just try not to think of The Sims at all.
Yeah, that's what I was about to say. I just try not to think about that.
Well, they're also doing that Facebook version of The Sims, which I tried out for about 5 minutes just to see if it was The Sims, and actually I forget my experience. I quickly got out of it.
You blocked out.
All right, have enough of this.
From my mind.
It was not The Sims as we know it. So
Farmville Sims.
That's good. It was.
Well, The Sims for me
Sims,
was like 10 minutes of putting them all in the room, deleting the door, and setting them all on fire.
Oh, I remember now. I went there. It's not The Sims, but SimCity. It's a version of SimCity for.
I know,
which is a better game for Facebook, which I thought sounded interesting, and I ran over there and tried to start it up, and then it was like, okay, now there's this person, like this avatar, trying to teach me how to play the game. It was really quite annoying because she kept popping up and telling, "Oh, do this now, do that now, do this," and everything I
like the paperclip.
Everything I did.
You're trying to type a letter.
Everything I did ended up as a post on my Facebook page. I'm like, no, wait.
Oh no.
And then it got to the point where it was like, okay, now you're going to ask all your friends. And I was like, no, I'm asking my friends nothing. And I closed the game.
I hate that on Facebook.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Like, sometimes I get invitations to games, and I'm like, did this person really actually say, I want to play a game with you? Or did the game just take over their Facebook and send out invitations to everybody they know?
Either way,
I have a virus.
I have friends that have lost their Facebook privileges, friend privileges with me over that. So, oh, you've sent me too many others, you're getting unfriended.
It's understood why that would happen, yes.
Yeah.
Facebook is a virus.
Yep.
Plain and simple.
Alright, so Ubisoft has a new FPS coming up that we've mentioned before called Shoot Mania.
Peggy 12.
And I have
Say new.
Yeah. Which I have here coming up as a video because they're releasing video on the game. And if you pre-order, you get 20% off. But
what?
you're gonna have to want this kind of gameplay, which we've mentioned before. It's sort of like Tribes-ish. Your FPS to have fun. Yes, it is.
They're trying to do is get into the esports.
And none of this is actually from the game. It's just showing you how the game's gonna play. And there you go. So that video, if that video sold you, go for it.
Well, they
Here's my wallet.
It's like an on-screen demo or whatever. But the thing was that they had like 3 or 6 pro gamers playing it, and then the first thing was they had to follow Assassin's Creed, which is just a horrible like presentation slot. Because I was like, oh my god, that was amazing, and then these guys had to come out and be like, so we've got this kind of like generic shooter that's a bit like Quake, and it was just it was funny.
Yeah, that would be. That's just you feel bad for yourself. Like, oh, I'm only working on this.
I suck.
They were trying to get into the esports market with this game, and it was just like, okay, good luck.
Well, you know, it could be worse. It could be you build a game, and then everything goes wrong along the way. As is what happened to Project Zomboid. Welshy pointed me over to this video of some sort of Rezzed, is the name of the studio, Rezzed session, where they talked about their game and what not to do when trying to build
Rezzed is the expo.
Oh, Rezzed is the expo? Okay.
Yeah, it was done by the same people that do Eurogamer, but it was a PC / modding only.
Okay. Alright. So yes, this one goes on what not to do, and let me see if I can figure out how to skip to certain parts without the video stopping.
First of all, we've got the guys from the indie stuff.
Apparently I cannot do it without the video stopping. Awesome video that I grabbed myself. So it goes on, I'll just give you the highlights here. It goes on to talk about how some of the things you should not do is move into an apartment where your next door neighbor makes bombs, and then have the police find out about it, come over, knock on the door while you're half asleep, and you stumble downstairs, you know, half asleep, like, oh, okay, I'll just leave, and then find out that you can't get to your games for 3 or more days when you're supposed to be releasing the game the next day. Something else not to do is to decide that, you know what, maybe it's time to move, and you're moving into your new place. You make sure that you back everything up, but you only back it up between a couple of PCs that you're actually moving into the new place, and then go out and come back to find everything stolen. So the only copy of the game you have was backed up months ago online. Something else not to do is
all of this actually happened to them.
Is not to promote your game and say, you know what, make a PayPal donation, and then so many people donate that PayPal freezes your account, so you can't get any of it.
Well, wait, why would they freeze your account? Because so many people donated to you. I mean, you want donations, that's a good thing.
It's because PayPal has like anti-money laundering policies, which are pretty ridiculous, actually. Like, I can understand.
But still, like, what are they supposed to do about that? Donate, but not too much?
Yeah, exactly.
Well, there's other means of collecting on donations, and they just chose PayPal because it was there and simple, and boom, okay. And then so many people picked up on it all at once that froze all their accounts. I mean, they really had quite a list of horrible things happen there.
Yeah, it was like one thing after. What I really like about the video is the fact that it's not overproduced, like the presentation. It's actually quite a terrible presentation.
Yeah.
And it's funny because of that, and it's kind of like it just makes I thought it was a nice change from like E3, where it's all the kind of ridiculous level of almost like the MTV Music Awards it was turning into this year. Oh, it was seriously. But this was kind of nice. It was very kind of just like there was only like 200 people in that room, and it was kind of they got right down into what they were doing and some of the crazy stuff that had happened to them.
I got one more comment, one more article here to bring up, and that is, what if Microsoft bought Activision? Because that is
will explode.
That is quite a possible scenario, that Microsoft buys controlling share of Activision Blizzard. What's up, Stryder?
I was just going to say that kind of same thing would happen if Microsoft bought Skype. Oh, they did. Oh, and Skype's not working quite as well.
Yeah, there were some issues, weren't there? But right now, there is not necessarily a sale going on, but Activision did, well, I should say Media Corporation Vivendi put out some word trying to say, all right, let's see, who's interested in possibly buying and taking over 60% of Activision Blizzard. That's what it says here.
Isn't Vivendi Dead Space, though? Or is that Visceral? I may have got that mixed up.
I know it's Visceral for sure, but...
Actually, I think it's Visceral. Never mind, don't listen to me. I'm just making things up.
Call of Duty would be Xbox exclusive at that point.
That's what I was about to say, yeah. It's like, if that did happen, I wonder if...
It pretty much is Xbox exclusive now anyways.
But I wonder if there'd be a PlayStation version.
Well, it's possibly worth, what, up to 10 billion is what they're saying? Or that's how much it could help them raise somehow.
What?
Well, it's just like if you went and bought Dig.com, which is actually sold for $500,000. Well, they say that much, but there's also a lot of other things to consider in that sale, which I didn't read into. And is it actually worth that much? I don't know.
Probably not.
I mean, all these online companies with no physical assets, you got to turn around and say, what are they really worth? Are they actually pulling in any kind of advertising money, or?
Well, Facebook's the example.
Yeah.
Where everyone's like, yeah, it's like millions, and it kind of didn't.
Okay, keep in mind, Facebook was initially valued at 1/10 of $1 trillion. They have no physical products.
Mm-hmm.
Nothing you can actually sell, but 1/10 of $1 trillion, $100 billion is what they were valued at. It doesn't take like a smart person to see that this is way overhyped, overvalued.
Mm-hmm. So. It is kind of funny what they're doing to the market, but yeah. Hence the big drop that we had in, what was that, the 90s? Yahoo and all of those companies.
The bubble burst.
The bubble burst, yep.
The death of .com.
The .com bubble.
Yep, a bulb went over somebody's head and said, oh, wait, they don't actually have any assets. They're not worth anything.
We all thought we were going to get to, like, wear jeans and bring our dogs to work. They ruined it for everybody.
Yeah. Okay. Anybody have anything else they want to bring up on our show before we wrap it all up? Should I bring up the app that we have out there?
Oh, yeah.
Couple apps.
I don't know if we actually have more than one app. One app is the news app for MODSonline and MODSonair, which shows you a list of all the videos, all the articles, all the events, all that kind of stuff that's going on right now. And the other one is the one that I promised, the Truckin' Jinx app. There it is, which you can get right now.
I haven't actually seen this yet.
Did they approve it?
Did they approve? Yes, they approved it. It's in the store right now. I tweeted the article. Yeah, it's out there.
It's out there.
Oh, I gotta see that.
I'm gonna see if I can get an Android version going at some point.
99 cents.
No, it's free. It's not 99 cents.
Oh, should have been 99 cents.
No.
It's a
Go out there, get it, play with it.
Giving away gold.
Give it away. Maybe they'll come to the show and listen to it live. I don't know what that does for us.
Now you sound like
we're worth $1 billion.
It's $1 billion.
Well, what I really hope is that that gets super popular and then Jenks can't go anywhere without somebody going, "Hey, you wanna get?"
They'll be punching everybody.
Yeah. Make it so internet
truckers. Make it so internet what?
So Jenks is so ridiculously famous that he can't go anywhere without being recognized.
That's a dangerous proposition.
Oh, I know. People are gonna die, but it's worth it.
Can't make an omelet.
All right. Anybody else?
Hey, Next week, I promise I will have a source film. And my impressions of the editor so far are that it's very well designed, and the tutorials are easy enough to follow. Some things aren't very intuitive as far as the way you create takes or just different scenes, the way they're put together. It's not very intuitive, but it's easy enough to follow once you complete the tutorials, and I will have something next week.
Okay, and that's for the Valve filmmaker that you can use to make movies out of just TF2 or any game that you play through Steam?
Technically just TF2 right now. You can import assets from different source games if you'd like to, but right now, technically just TF2.
Okay.
Can you not make your own assets and import them?
Yes, you can. You can make your own stuff and import it if you'd like to do that too. I won't be doing that, at least not right now. And so I can finish the tutorials and make something.
Okay. All right, anyone else? Wrapping up? No? Okay. I want to say thank you to our host for taking the time out to chat today. Stryder, thank you very much for joining us today.
It's always an adventure.
Yeah. GameKat, thank you very much.
Anytime.
Welshy, thank you, and also for posting the show notes as we went along.
No problem.
And Ham, thank you.
Thank you very much.
Awesome. Finally, I want to thank you, the fans of MODSonair.com and the subscribing members of MODSonline.com for making this show possible. And until next weekend, everybody, happy gaming, and you know what? Mailbag at MODSonair.com.
Thanks for watching this week, and come back next Sunday at 12 p.m. Eastern when we will broadcast another live show. Details for this and all past episodes can be found at MODSonair.com. We welcome your feedback via email at mailbag@MODSonair.com. And please consider subscribing to MODSonline.com to support our show. The opinions expressed by individuals on this program are not necessarily the opinions of our sponsors, owners, or partners.
I need you to put me through to someone who gets paid enough to listen to me cuss at them.
Oh, I love it. So much.